Well, obviously didn't hear what I said.
It doesn't matter. These judge types will do it to you every time.
Yeah, she's a point, man. They sit up there and they act like they're better than us or something, you know? They say they're going to let Rose have her, but I wouldn't be surprised she'd change their mind.
Blackie, this paranoia of yours is completely unjustified.
She's right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, if they end up putting you with some old rich lady, I'm telling you, Jake, buddy, I'll be out of here running away again.
Like I said before, the agent from social services says it's all set up.
Oh, and you really believe that?
Well, why shouldn't I?
Obviously, you've never had a run-in with one of these do-gooders.
Is about to come?
There's my golden opportunity to prove my point.
Good morning, Mr. Meyer.
We're already on this side.
Yes, I see. And I'm sorry.
Sorry about what?
There's been a change, Counselor. I can't go along with our former agreement.
You dressed early this morning?
I couldn't sleep.
I had a spot of trouble myself.
He'll show again, won't he?
At this point, I'd say it's chancy.
If only I knew where he went. I could just guess. You don't...
What?
Oh, I don't know. You're sure that he wouldn't do anything foolish?
No way.
Well, we can't just sit here and wait and guess.
You're right. Not anymore.
So what are we going to do?
You know what I think?
What's that?
I think that there are two kinds of people in the world.
Only two?
Well, there are variations, sure, but basically, two kinds of people. Those who care and those who don't care.
Care about what?
Each other, man. Friends. Haven't you been listening to anything I've been saying? There are people who care, there are people who don't. A friend is somebody who cares. A friend is somebody who is there for you. A friend is somebody who waits.
You say so.
No, wait a minute. Don't agree with me if you don't agree with me. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm dead wrong. Maybe I'm wrong and maybe they're right.
Listen, partner, you got troubles. I understand that. But, see, we just want to close the place up here. We just want to clean up for a couple hours.
Oh, I know the routine.
Oh, yeah?
Listen, pal, I stopped coming in here long before you even started working here.
Look, I'm not arguing with you.
It sounds like you are.
We just want to close up. I mean, if it's okay with you.
It's fine with me. I think I would like, though, another drink.
Wouldn't you rather just sleep it off?
I want another drink.
Listen, I don't have anything against you personally, mister. In fact, I guess you're probably a pretty good guy. You're okay. But whatever your problems are, you're not going to find any solutions in that bottle. And that I can tell you for sure.
Maybe you're right. You got a point. Okay, you're right. I have some unfinished business to take care of. And I think it's time that I took care of it.
It's not like him to just walk out and not want an explanation.
He already made up his own, which wasn't too far from the truth.
He must have known. We all thought he was dead.
Yes. But his best friend and the woman he loved together, it must have been horrible for him.
He brought this on himself.
We don't know that yet.
Maybe you're right. But we do know something. That is, we can't sit around here all day.
There's more people to tell him besides Bobby and Ruby.
We've got to find him first.
But how?
It's been a day. This does call for drastic measures.
We can't send out a whole platoon of cops after him. It's only going to make him more furious than he already is.
Maybe it will. But we can't have him roaming around the streets either, to possibly disappear again.
No, he wouldn't do that.
Maybe he has already, Holly. Look, something took him away before. Maybe that same something has pushed him back into hiding again.
No, not Luke.
face up to it, Holly.
If and when it happens. Until then, we have to find him. Now, there's no way we could do this ourselves.
Not easily. It could be anywhere.
But I won't have you sending the police after him.
All right. All right. I'll go down to the station myself and put out a quiet APB on him.
Quiet?
Yeah, hear me out.
Robert, you know what would happen if you put Luke in jail.
He'd resent it for the rest of his life. But I'm not suggesting that. This will be an APB simply to locate him. I'll be under strict instructions not to approach him in any way.
But I don't see what that would accomplish.
Well, they'll find him, they tell me, and I'll go get him.
But what if word gets out? Say if one of your cops have a big mouth.
I only talk to my closest. I'll do it in person. That way it'll be kept off the computer. What's wrong?
We're hunting him down like some kind of animal.
You want a chance to explain all this, don't you?
That's just it. I don't know what to say when I do find him. It's just... I guess I need time to think about it, except that more time he's out there on the street, the more I worry.
You'll know what to say.
Someone is going to get hurt.
Why do you say that?
Because out of the three of us, at least one of us is going to end up being hurt.
Doesn't have to be that way.
I don't see how it can't.
Well, anyway, we'll deal with that when the time comes.
Yes, I suppose. The first thing we have to do is find him.
And the second thing is to question him and find out what the hell's been going on.
We had an arrangement, Mrs.
Counselor,
Pearson. Will you please tell me what happened?
What'd I tell you? They're going to turn up.
I just don't understand what made her change her mind.
I'll tell
Last
you.
minute?
It's like this whole big mess we're in. They tell you one thing to make you cooperate, and then they slap you with something else when you're not looking. Oh, I wish we had some other lawyer. I don't know, someone with gray hair, look better. The judge would like her. You know what's going to happen? The judge is going to walk right in that door, look at old Jake, and turn me right over to the social worker.
All right, Lou, that's enough.
Oh, don't you understand, Rose? It was too good to be true. Turns I get this every time. I know it.
In about 1 second, I'm going to go back over there and find out what's going on.
You will not. You're going to stay right where you are.
I'm not just going to stand here. I'm sorry.
Yes, you will. I'm sure.
Look, I won't say anything. I'm just going to listen.
I'm not kidding, Blackie. You stay where you are.
Then I'll go.
No, you will stay as well, young lady. Both of you. Do you understand that?
Yeah, just like we're in kindergarten again or something. Uh-oh,
Here
there
comes
she
the
comes.
She's looking for gray hair already.
Quiet, both of you. Okay, is there a problem? What is it?
Yeah, what'd she say?
Come on, tell her.
I'll find out in a minute. Let's sit down.
Where's the file for this case? Supposed to be here at the bench. Thank you. Louisa Swinson, is that correct?
That's right, Your Honor.
Is she present?
Yes, she is.
Where? Will she stand?
Yes, Your Judgeship.
You are Louisa Swinson.
Yes.
That's your honor.
Your Honor, yes, thank you.
You may be seated. According to this, all parties have reached an agreement. The child is to be put in the custody of a Rose Kelly.
That's right, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, I'm sorry. The file is mistaken. We have not reached an agreement.
Robert, did you forget something?
Surprise, surprise. Not your husband, just me.
Luke,
I'm flattered you remembered. Can I come in?
why did you run away? Why didn't you let me explain?
Well, what's to explain? Certainly not this. Nice house. Nice clothes. You look fine. I guess you're lucky that I dropped out of the picture. You married very well.
You don't understand.
I think I do. Somewhere along the line, you decided I could never give you all of this, and you grabbed the first opportunity you could to take the life you'd always planned for yourself.
That's not true.
Isn't it?
No, how dare you say that?
Well, I call 'em as I see 'em, baby.
You don't see anything. All you see is your own blind jealousy, your own selfishness.
Selfish? Yes, I am selfish. I admit it. I've been living for months with a very selfish idea. The idea of seeing you again. So I got what I wanted, didn't I? I see you now. I see you very clearly. You never cared for me, really.
You're wrong. I gave up everything for you. When I heard you were dead, I wanted to die, too.
Well, luckily, you, got over it.
Listen to me, damn it!
I'm listening.
I was alone. I was about to be deported. And I was pregnant. I was pregnant with your child.
The baby?
I lost it, Luke.
Why didn't you tell me you were pregnant?
I didn't know until after you ran off. Then we got the news.
That I was dead.
I told you, in my dreams and in my prayers. I would tell you every time I was alone. That baby was the last link I had to you.
How did it happen?
Miscarriage.
Because you were upset about me.
Partly because of that. It was an accident.
An accident? What kind of accident? Holly, what kind of accident?
I was lifting something heavy when I should have been relaxing.
Why?
Does it really matter?
Yes, it matters. That was my child.
It was my child, too.
So why were you lifting something that you shouldn't have been lifting?
I just did. These things happen. There was nothing to do. I was alone all day. I had to do something or else I would have gone crazy.
What did you lift?
Oh, you don't give up, do you?
What did you lift?
Right, this.
That?
Yes.
That can't weigh more than 5 pounds.
Probably not.
Well, why were you lifting it?
I was trying to put the house in order.
This house? Yours and...
Yes.
So, you were putting Robert's house in order.
We just moved in.
So what was this, some kind of housewarming present?
Not exactly.
Well, where did it come from? I've never seen this before.
It was a gift for Robert.
From you? I see. So you were putting Robert's house in order, and you were moving furniture around, tables, chairs, sofas. What, did he ask you to move the mattress upstairs, too?
That's not fair.
Not fair? You lost my child because you were putting Robert's house in order?
You're jumping to conclusions.
Am I?
You're trying to toss this off on Robert. Well, you can't because it's not his fault. He had nothing to do with this. It was me, on my own. None of this was Robert's fault.
Well, whose fault is it? It's not mine!
Oh, no? If you had been here, if you had let us know that you were alive, none of this would have happened. So don't you judge me. You have no right.
Anna, the decision has already been made. Arrangements are already underway. My client and Mrs. Kelly have agreed they want to be with each other. What is holding things up here?
Well, that's all very well and good, and I can understand your concern, Mr. Meyer. And to be truthful with you, I did not realize I would have to hear a case on this matter. But now that Mrs. Peterson is up, I feel it is my duty as the judge to hear her arguments as a representative of the State Social Services Department. Please be seated. Please be seated, Mr. Meyer.
We're dead.
What do you mean?
They always go with what social services recommends. It's like keeping it in the family.
Before you proceed, Mrs. Peterson, I would like to have something clarified. The child is a runaway, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
I assume that all attempts have been made to reach your parents?
Commissioner Scorpio handled the matter himself. Unfortunately, the parents cannot be located. Therefore, the need for immediate placement of the child.
You may continue, Mrs. Peterson.
Thank you, Your Honor. As you know, I originally agreed to allow Rose Kelly to have foster care of the child, Louisa Swenson.
Yes, we all know that. The question remains, why have you changed your mind?
Yes, we'd all like to know that.
That would be enough, Mr. Meyer.
Sorry, Your Honor, I was just curious. Whether you know it or not, this is the first I've heard of Mrs. Peterson's sudden change of mind.
So you can be enlightened at the same time as I. Shall we let her continue?
By all means, Your Honor. Curiosity is killing me.
As I was saying, a certain circumstance has arisen to make me change my mind. At the time when I agreed to let Rose Kelly have care of the child, it was due to the fact that the Baldwins had dropped out, and there was no one else willing to take care of a child of her, shall we say, difficult background.
Shall we get to the point, Mrs. Peterson?
The point is, Your Honor, that a space has been made available in a home that we regularly use at the agency. This family, and I say family because it includes a mother and a father.
Your Honor, it has already been decided that the marital status of Mrs. Kelly shall not be a factor in this case.
If it concerns the future welfare of the child, it most definitely will be a considering factor in this case.
Your Honor, are you willing to discriminate against Mrs. Kelly because of her marital status?
I am willing to do whatever would necessary within the law to protect the rights of Miss Swenson, and that includes finding her a proper home. Now, please be seated, Mr. Meyer, and I will not accept any more outbursts.
You tell him, Counselor.
You may continue, Mrs. Peterson.
Thank you, Your Honor. As I was saying, this is a home we use regularly. A family used to dealing with difficult children.
If I may interrupt, I would like to know the results you've had.
Very good, Your Honor.
You have documentation to that effect, I assume?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. 5 cases in point. I have the file here.
If I may.
Your Honor, I believe it's within my rights to see the files as well.
Counsel has a point.
No problem. I brought copies.
Thank you. How very thoughtful of you.
There's no need for cynicism, Counselor. I am only doing what I feel is best for Miss Swenson.
Oh, and I bet you think you know all about that, don't you?
You may return to your place, Mrs. Peterson.
Your Honor, these files are irrelevant to the case. An agreement was made. I believe it should be upheld.
Mr. Meyer, I will look through these files and then give you my decision. Now, please be seated. Very interesting.
You can see my point, Your Honor.
An extraordinary foster home.
The Willwrights have had a total of 103 children placed in their home. Mr. Willwright is an administrator at the university. They're active in several charities, and all foster support goes directly to the children, as indicated.
Very compelling, Mrs. Peterson. And I can understand your change of position. By the same token, though, Mr. Meyer does have a right to respond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But Mr. Meyer, I'd like to remind you that this is a hearing, not the Supreme Court. So if you would limit your comments to just the essentials, it would be greatly appreciated.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. My zeal to see the right thing done has got the best of me. You don't know Lou Swenson, Your Honor. I didn't either until a few days ago. In the past few days, we've had a chance to talk. This is no ordinary child, Your Honor. She is practically an adult. Fortunately, I learned early on that she couldn't be placed in just an ordinary foster home. She needed somebody special. Well, I found that special person, Your Honor. Rose Kelly. I observed their first meeting and subsequent discussions.
Continue, Counselor.
They share too much for you to deny their company.
When you say share...
A bad choice of words, Your Honor. I should have said need. They need each other. Here you have a girl from a difficult background. Here also is Rose, a good woman with a good job and a good business, and the right kind of common sense to make a positive influence on a girl like Lou.
Mr. Meyer, this is all very well and good. But I think your argument should be why she would be happier and better off with a Rose Kelly than the Willwrights.
I was just getting to that, Your Honor. You see, I believe that the Willwrights, although obviously a wonderful family, cannot offer Lou what Rose can. Lou has been on her own for a good long time now. To return her to a family situation where she's treated as a child again, would just result in her running away.
Because she's been living without supervision does not mean we must condone its continuance.
Mrs. Peterson, I am not talking about that.
The child is still a minor.
Yes, in years, on paper. But you know as well as I do that that young woman over there is just that. A young woman and not a child.
Mr. Meyer, you are still getting away from the main point.
Why Rose would be a better parent for Lou. They belong together. They're right for each other. And most important of all, Lou wants to live with Rose.
We would like to have your decision, Your Honor.
And you will, in a moment. But first, I'd like to talk to Louisa.
I hardly see what difference that makes.
We are deciding the child's future, are we not?
But her opinion is not the issue.
Her opinion is the only issue, Mrs. Peterson. Louisa, would you stand, please, and approach the bench?
Yeah, sure. Well, what can I do for you, Judge?
Well, I'd like for you to start by giving me your reaction to all of this.
Well, I'm with Jake here.
Yes, I realize that. But would you like to explain why?
Well, do I have to?
No. But if you'd like to live with Mrs. Kelly, it might help.
Okay. See, Judge, I don't get along with a lot of people, especially the foster parent type, if you know what I mean. They tend to crowd you, always bugging you about school and your homework and your job and stuff like
We
that.
call that supervision, Louisa.
Yeah, right. Well, what if the kid doesn't need it? Like, what if I can take care of myself?
Then why do you need anyone, including Rose Kelly?
Well, see, that's what I used to think until I met Rose. Well, we hit it right off, and... Well, if I need the supervision you're talking about, I think Rose is the one to give it to me.
Why?
Why? Because I respect her.
I see.
Anything else?
No, that will do for now.
Thank you.
You may be seated.
Oh, Judge, I like Rose. And, well, these will rights, I never even met them.
Thank you, Louisa. This is a very difficult case. In fact, it's far more complicated than I thought it would be. And as a judge, I feel I must put it on a trial basis.
What'll happen in the meantime, Your Honor?
I'm getting to that, Mr. Myers. It seems unwise that a child such as Louisa should be placed in a shelter. So, as the judge, I feel that the custody should go to Rose Kelly. I must remind you, this is a temporary arrangement pending full investigation and the ultimate approval of the State Social Service Department.
That's good enough, Your Honor. Thank you.
Good luck, Louisa.
Yes, thank you.
Mrs. Kelly.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mrs. Peterson, may I talk with you in my chambers?
Go ahead, celebrate. We just won our first round.
I guess this is where I say thank you.
Me? What for?
I think you just changed my life.
Well, I'm surprised you haven't thrown me out.
Should you know?
Yes. You probably should, because you don't think I deserve an answer, do you? I mean, a guy's best friend marries his woman. And you don't think the poor jerk is entitled to an explanation.
Would you stop it?
Stop what?
I thought you were dead. My God, you were my whole life. I was destroyed.
Yeah. So you consoled yourself with my best friend. How long did it take? A week, 2 weeks? Did he come on to you at the funeral?
There was no funeral.
Good.
There was a memorial service, though. And it was very moving. Why don't you just tell me what you want?
An explanation.
It was a marriage of convenience, all right?
Oh, great.
They were going to deport me. The immigration department. I was being classified as an undesirable alien.
So, in order to stay in this country, you had to marry an American citizen. Robert is Australian, darling.
With American citizenship. I'm surprised you don't remember that.
Well, I've been away a long time.
Robert took a great risk doing what he did, and it wasn't for him. It was for you and for the baby. I mean, you know Robert isn't exactly the marrying kind.
No, he isn't. But he's always been very big on what goes along with marriage. Well,
I don't know what you're asking.
I think you do.
I tried to find you, Luke. I went up to the mountain. I tried to find all the places where we had been. But they were gone like you were.
Yeah, I went up to the mountain, too, but you're not answering my question.
Which question is that?
The big one.
I don't know what you mean.
All right, English. Let me spell it out for you. Are you sleeping with Robert?
General Hospital will continue in a moment.